You may think that sleeping is the safest and most natural activity you can do. But the truth is that the way you position your body at night can quietly raise your risk of a stroke. As a brain doctor, I have seen far too many cases where patients went to bed feeling perfectly fine, only to wake up confused, dizzy, unable to move one arm, or sometimes not wake up at all. The shocking reality is that certain sleeping positions can restrict blood flow to the brain, strain the heart, compress blood vessels, or interfere with breathing. These effects do not happen instantly. They build silently while you are unconscious, making them even more dangerous because you are unaware of the harm being done. Most people believe that as long as they sleep enough hours, they are giving their body the rest it needs. But science shows that quality and safety of sleep depend not only on duration, but also on posture. When you sleep in certain positions, your neck may be twisted, your airway may be narrowed, and your blood vessels may be compressed. This leads to reduced oxygen reaching the brain, fluctuations in blood pressure, and an increased chance of clot formation. For seniors and people with existing health risks like hypertension, diabetes, or obesity, these small nightly stresses can be enough to trigger a stroke or heart problem. Let me be clear. I am not here to scare you unnecessarily. I am here to reveal what years of clinical observation and research confirm the way you sleep can either protect your brain or put it in danger. In this video, I will walk you through the 5 most dangerous sleeping positions that raise stroke risk overnight. I will explain exactly why each position is harmful, how it affects your blood vessels, heart, and brain, and what warning signs you may feel when you wake up. I will also show you which position is the safest and how to set up your sleeping environment so your body can truly rest and recover without hidden danger. Before we dive in, if you have not subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. And if you find this video helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0, so I know how to improve and bring you better content. Remember, knowledge is power. And tonight, the way you sleep may be the difference between waking up healthy or waking up with a life-changing condition. Part 1. Sleeping on your stomach, the first dangerous position. The first dangerous position you must know about is sleeping on your stomach. Many people believe that lying face down feels comfortable, especially if they are used to hugging a pillow or want to reduce snoring. But the truth is that this position creates multiple hidden risks for your brain, heart, and circulation. When you sleep on your stomach, your neck is forced to twist to one side in order for you to breathe. This unnatural angle compresses blood vessels that run through the neck and carry oxygen-rich blood to the brain over hours of sleep. That compression can reduce blood flow, lower oxygen delivery, and increase the chance of small clots forming in narrowed vessels. If you already have hardened arteries or high blood pressure, this pressure on the neck can trigger a blockage that leads directly to a stroke. Sleeping on your stomach also places constant pressure on the chest and abdomen. This restricts the natural movement of the lungs, making it harder to take deep breaths. The result is shallow breathing, reduced oxygen exchange, and more stress on the heart. At night, when the body should be resting, the heart must work harder to push blood through partially restricted vessels and oxygen-deprived tissues. For older adults with cardiovascular problems, this added strain can silently push the heart into dangerous rhythms or raise blood pressure to levels that increase stroke risk. Another overlooked danger is nerve compression. When you lie on your stomach, nerves in the arms and shoulders may be pinched, leading to tingling, numbness, or weakness when you wake up. While many dismiss this as temporary, it is a sign that circulation has been impaired for hours, repeated night after night. This impairment weakens muscles, stress blood vessels, and increases the risk of clot formation in both the arms and the brain. Some patients I have treated told me they woke up from stomach sleeping with severe headaches, blurred vision, or dizziness. These are red flags that the brain did not receive enough oxygen during the night. Others described waking up with their heart racing or feeling short of breath, both of which indicate that the cardiovascular system was under dangerous stress while they slept. Research supports these observations. Studies have shown that prolonged stomach sleeping is linked to higher rates of airway obstruction and reduced blood oxygen levels compared to safer positions. For people with sleep apnea, stomach sleeping can make nighttime breathing disturbances even worse. The bottom line is this: sleeping on your stomach may seem harmless, but for your brain, it is a silent risk. It combines poor neck posture, reduced oxygen, and vessel compression into a dangerous recipe for stroke or heart complications. If this surprised you, wait until you hear about the next position, sleeping flat on your back with no pillow, and why it may quietly raise your risk of stroke overnight. Part 2. Sleeping flat on your back with no pillow, the second dangerous position. The second dangerous position you must be aware of is lying flat on your back without a pillow. At first, this may seem like the most natural way to sleep. Some people even believe it helps the spine stay straight. But in reality, sleeping completely flat can create hidden dangers for your brain, heart, and breathing. When you lie flat with no support for your head or neck, your airway can narrow or even partially collapse, especially if you are older or overweight. This makes it easier for obstructive sleep apnea to occur. Sleep apnea is a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during the night, lowering oxygen levels and raising blood pressure. Every pause in breathing means your brain is being deprived of oxygen over time. These repeated drops increase the risk of stroke and heart disease significantly. Even if you do not have diagnosed sleep apnea, lying flat makes it harder for the airway muscles to stay open. And this restriction can silently strain your heart and blood vessels. Another problem is circulation. When your head is level with your body, blood can pool in the neck and head veins. For healthy young people, this may not be noticeable, but in seniors or those with vascular disease, it increases pressure inside the skull and disrupts the delicate balance of blood supply to the brain. If you wake up with morning headaches or a feeling of heaviness in the head, this could be a warning sign that your sleeping posture is quietly affecting circulation. Flat back sleeping without a pillow also places strain on the cervical spine. The natural curve of the neck is lost, forcing muscles and ligaments to stretch unnaturally for hours. This tension not only causes neck pain and stiffness, but also narrows the passage where arteries and veins travel, further reducing smooth blood flow to the brain. Combined with existing risks like high cholesterol or hypertension, this can become a setup for clot formation or vessel injury. I have had patients who thought they were doing the right thing by sleeping flat to avoid back pain, but instead, they developed worsening snoring, nighttime gasping, and unexplained fatigue during the day. After further testing, many were found to have dangerous nighttime oxygen drops. Their risk of stroke was rising silently each night, all because of an unsafe sleeping position. The solution is not complicated. Supporting the head and neck with a properly sized pillow maintains an open airway, reduces pressure on the cervical spine, and allows blood and oxygen to circulate more freely. What seems like a small detail can make a major difference in protecting the brain. The lesson here is clear. Sleeping flat on your back with no pillow is not as safe as it seems. It increases the risk of breathing problems, oxygen drops, and circulation issues that can quietly raise your chance of stroke. If this has made you think twice, wait until you hear about the next position, where placing your arm under your head while sleeping can silently compromise blood flow and endanger your brain. Part 3. Sleeping with your arm under your head, the third dangerous position. The third dangerous position many people do not realize is harmful is sleeping with your arm tucked under your head. At first, this may feel cozy, almost like using your arm as an extra pillow. But the truth is that this habit quietly interferes with circulation, strains nerves, and increases stroke risk over time. When you place your arm beneath your head, the weight of your skull presses directly on the major blood vessels and nerves running through the shoulder and upper arm. This constant compression restricts blood returning to the heart and slows fresh oxygen-rich blood from reaching the brain. After hours of pressure, the arm may become numb, tingly, or weak. While most people dismiss this as their arm falling asleep, it is actually a sign of restricted blood flow. If blood circulation is cut off repeatedly in this way, small clots can form in the veins of the arm, and in certain conditions, those clots can travel to the brain, causing a stroke. The nerve compression in this position is equally dangerous. The brachial plexus, a bundle of nerves controlling the arm and hand, is vulnerable to direct pressure. Prolonged strain can lead to chronic tingling, weakness, or even nerve injury. Patients who wake up with stiff fingers or weak grip after sleeping with an arm under their head often do not realize they are harming their nerves night after night. But what is even more concerning is that this same pressure also affects the nearby blood vessels that keep the brain supplied with oxygen. Another risk comes from how this posture bends and twists the neck. To rest on your arm, your neck usually tilts at an unnatural angle. This puts additional strain on the carotid and vertebral arteries, which are responsible for delivering blood to critical brain regions. Repeated compression in these arteries can trigger mini strokes or transient ischemic attacks, often noticed as brief dizziness, blurred vision, or slurred speech upon waking. These may seem minor, but are actually strong warnings that a larger, more devastating stroke could follow. I have seen patients in their 50s and 60s who thought they simply slept awkwardly, but after investigation, we found they were experiencing small strokes linked to poor circulation during sleep. The common factor was their habit of sleeping with an arm under their head. What felt comfortable was, in fact, silently dangerous. The solution is to avoid using your arm as support and instead rely on a supportive pillow that keeps the head and neck aligned naturally. Pillows should provide enough height to prevent neck bending without forcing the head forward. This small adjustment allows both your arms and your brain to receive uninterrupted blood flow through the night. The lesson here is simple. If you wake up often with numbness in your arm or hand after sleeping, your body is warning you. Do not ignore it. Sleeping with your arm under your head is more than just uncomfortable. It is a hidden threat to circulation and brain health. If this surprised you, wait until you hear about the next position. Curling tightly on one side, which may seem harmless but can also quietly increase your stroke risk overnight. Part 4. Sleeping curled tightly on one side, the fourth dangerous position. The fourth dangerous position that raises stroke risk is sleeping curled tightly on one side. often called the fetal position. Many people naturally adopt this posture, especially when they want to feel warm, safe, or cozy. It may seem harmless, but curling the body too tightly while lying on one side creates a series of hidden stresses on the heart, lungs, blood vessels, and even the brain. When you curl up excessively, your chest is compressed and your lungs cannot fully expand. This means your breathing becomes shallow, reducing the amount of oxygen entering your bloodstream. Over hours of sleep, your brain receives less oxygen than it needs, and this shortage increases the risk of both heart strain and cerebrovascular problems. People who wake up from this position often describe morning fatigue, dizziness, or even headaches, all signs that their brain was deprived of oxygen during the night. Curling tightly also puts pressure on the heart. When the chest cavity is squeezed, the heart must work harder to pump blood through vessels that are partially compressed. For individuals with hypertension, high cholesterol, or underlying heart disease, this extra workload can be enough to trigger irregular rhythms, spikes in blood pressure, or reduced blood supply to the brain. This is why strokes and heart events are more likely to occur at night or early in the morning. When circulation has been stressed for hours during sleep, another overlooked issue is circulation in the legs and arms. In the fetal position, blood vessels in the limbs may be pinched, slowing blood return to the heart. This pooling of blood increases the risk of clot formation, especially in older adults or those with varicose veins. A clot that forms in the legs can travel upward, becoming a life-threatening embolism in the lungs or brain. Repeated restriction of circulation also contributes to stiffness, tingling, or numbness when waking. For the spine and neck, the fetal position can create harmful bending. The cervical spine is forced into flexion, narrowing the pathways of arteries that supply the brain. Over time, this may increase the risk of small vessel disease or transient ischemic attacks, which are mini strokes that serve as warnings for larger strokes to come. I have spoken with patients who swore the fetal position was the only way they could sleep comfortably, yet they constantly woke with headaches, neck stiffness, or tingling in their limbs. Once they adjusted to a looser side-lying position with proper pillow support, many of their symptoms improved, and their risk of nighttime vascular stress decreased. The key lesson is balance. Side sleeping itself can be healthy, but curling tightly into a ball restricts breathing, circulation, and blood flow to the brain. Loosening your posture, keeping your spine more aligned, and supporting your head with a pillow can provide comfort without hidden risks. If this explanation surprised you, wait until you hear about the next dangerous position, sleeping sitting upright in a chair, which may seem convenient for short naps but can quietly create conditions for clots and poor brain circulation. Part 5. Sleeping sitting upright, the fifth dangerous position. The fifth dangerous position you must be cautious about is sleeping while sitting upright, such as in a chair, on a couch, or even propped up in bed. Many seniors fall into this habit because of acid reflux, back pain, or simply dozing off while watching television. It may seem harmless, but in reality, this posture quietly increases the risk of circulation problems, clot formation, and even stroke. When you sleep upright, gravity pulls blood downward into the legs. Over hours of immobility, blood can pool in the lower veins, slowing circulation and increasing the chance of clot formation, a condition known as deep vein thrombosis. If one of these clots breaks free and travels to the brain, it can cause an ischemic stroke. This is the same mechanism that makes long plane rides risky. But instead of lasting only a few hours, many people spend entire nights in this position, multiplying the danger. Sleeping upright also limits blood flow to the brain itself, because the head is tilted forward or to the side. Arteries in the neck may become partially compressed. This restriction can reduce the oxygen supply to vital brain regions. Patients often report waking from upright, sleeping with dizziness, blurred vision, or sudden weakness in one arm or leg. These may be transient ischemic attacks, mini strokes that serve as clear warnings of something more serious on the horizon. Another concern is airway obstruction. In the upright position, the chin tends to fall forward, narrowing the throat. This makes snoring and sleep apnea more likely. Sleep apnea is not just about noisy breathing. It repeatedly starves the brain of oxygen throughout the night, raises blood pressure, and puts enormous strain on the cardiovascular system. For older adults, this combination of poor circulation and intermittent oxygen deprivation significantly raises the risk of both heart attack and stroke. Postural discomfort is another issue. Upright sleeping often forces the spine into unnatural curves. The neck is bent awkwardly, muscles are strained, and nerves may be pinched. Some patients wake with severe stiffness or tingling in the arms, which is more than just discomfort. It is a sign that circulation and nerve function have been compromised during the night. I have seen cases where seniors fell asleep in a chair after dinner, only to wake up hours later confused, weak, or unable to move one side of their body. They thought they were simply tired, but in reality, their brain had suffered a vascular event triggered by poor circulation while sleeping upright. The solution is not complicated. If you must sleep with your upper body elevated, use a proper adjustable bed or wedge pillow that supports the spine, keeps the head aligned, and prevents the chin from dropping forward. Taking breaks to stretch the legs before bedtime and avoiding long periods of immobility also reduce the risk. The lesson is clear. Sleeping while sitting upright may seem convenient, but it is a silent risk to your circulation and brain health. If this startled you, wait until you hear the next part, where I will show you the safest sleeping positions and practical steps you can take to protect your brain and heart overnight. Part 6. How to sleep safely for brain and heart health. After learning about the 5 dangerous sleeping positions, you may be wondering, what is the safest way to sleep so your brain and heart are protected overnight? The good news is that safe sleeping is not complicated, but it does require awareness and small adjustments that make a big difference. The first and most recommended position for overall brain and heart health is lying on your left side with proper support. This posture allows the spine to remain aligned, keeps airways open, and reduces pressure on the heart. For many patients with high blood pressure or heart disease, left side sleeping also improves circulation by allowing blood to flow more freely from the heart to the rest of the body. Research has suggested that this position can enhance waste clearance from the brain through the lymphatic system, which may even lower the risk of dementia in the long run. The second safe option is lying on your back, but with proper pillow support. A small pillow under the head and neck maintains the natural curve of the spine, prevents the airway from collapsing, and reduces snoring. For some patients, placing a small pillow under the knees also helps relieve pressure on the lower back and improve circulation. The key is avoiding a flat position with no pillow, which we already identified as dangerous. Good sleep safety also depends on the right sleeping environment. A mattress that is too soft may cause the body to sink, twisting the neck and spine, while a mattress that is too hard creates pressure points. Choose a medium firm mattress that supports alignment. Keep the room cool and quiet, because extreme heat or noise can disrupt deep sleep and increase nighttime blood pressure fluctuations. Another important step is to avoid going to bed immediately after alcohol or heavy meals. Alcohol relaxes throat muscles and worsens sleep apnea, while heavy meals increase reflux, forcing many people into unsafe upright positions. Aim to finish eating at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Proper sleep hygiene also plays a role. A consistent bedtime, limiting caffeine late in the day, and using relaxation techniques like slow breathing or light stretching before sleep all prepare the body for safe rest. These habits reduce stress hormones, which can otherwise increase blood pressure and strain the heart overnight. Finally, for seniors or anyone at higher risk of stroke, regular medical checkups are crucial. Conditions like hypertension, diabetes, or sleep apnea silently increase risk, but they can be managed effectively with treatment. Using CPAP devices for diagnosed sleep apnea, taking prescribed medications, and monitoring blood pressure at home are all practical ways to reduce nighttime dangers. The lesson is clear. Sleeping safely is not just about getting enough hours. It is about positioning your body in a way that supports circulation, breathing, and brain function. A left side posture with supportive pillows, a balanced environment, and healthy routines can transform sleep from a hidden risk into a true source of recovery. If these solutions give you hope, stay with me for the conclusion, where I will summarize the key lessons and remind you that your sleep can either protect your brain or silently put it in danger. Conclusion. Protecting your brain starts with how you sleep. We have reached the final part of this journey, and I want to leave you with a clear message. Sleep is supposed to be the time when your body and brain recover. But the truth is that the way you sleep can either protect you or put you at risk. As we have seen, there are 5 positions that quietly raise the risk of stroke and other health problems overnight. Sleeping on your stomach twists the neck, compresses vessels, and restricts oxygen to the brain. Sleeping flat on your back without a pillow narrows the airway, worsens sleep apnea, and silently stresses the heart. Sleeping with your arm under your head blocks circulation, pinches nerves, and can lead to clots or mini strokes. Sleeping curled tightly on one side compresses the chest and brain circulation. While sleeping, sitting upright allows blood to pool in the legs, creating the perfect environment for clot formation. Each of these positions may feel harmless in the moment, but over time they create a silent strain that can lead to devastating outcomes. The hopeful truth is that all of these risks can be reduced by simple changes. Sleeping on your left side with proper pillow support keeps your spine aligned, your airway open, and your circulation flowing smoothly. Using a medium firm mattress, avoiding alcohol or heavy meals before bedtime, and maintaining a cool, quiet environment all contribute to safe and restorative sleep. Regular medical care for conditions like hypertension, diabetes, or sleep apnea is also essential, because untreated health problems magnify the danger of poor sleeping posture. What I want you to remember is that stroke is not only about what happens in the day, it can be triggered silently in the night while you are unaware. By paying attention to how you position your body, you are taking an active step to protect your brain, your heart, and your independence. I have seen patients who thought they were simply tired or stiff in the morning, only to realize that their sleeping posture had been silently contributing to their health problems for years. Changing the way you sleep may seem small, but it can make the difference between waking up healthy or waking up with life-changing disability. Your body still remembers how to heal, and your brain still has the power to thrive. But you must give them the right conditions. Tonight, when you go to bed, think about the position you choose. Is it supporting your health? Or is it quietly raising your risk? That decision is in your hands. Now, I would love to hear from you. Which of these dangerous positions have you been guilty of? And what changes will you make starting tonight? Type 1 in the comments if this video gave you valuable knowledge. Or type 0 if you want me to improve. Share this video with someone you love, because the life you save might be theirs. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another health tip made just for you.